Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast, being us the lighter side of stroke survival and recovery. So there's going to be balloons and streamers and confetti. What we have here are two really, objectively speaking, two very special guests. These are two of my three kids. This is Abby. Say hi, Abby. And this is Jacob. Say hi, Jacob. And
Hi.
my third child, Isaac, he will be joining us for another episode. So he's still in class right now. And importantly, before we begin talking to these two fabulous people, today is a very special day for this special lady, Tracy. Today is, what do you call it?
Anniversary. That's what we say. We'll start with you, and Jacob, jump right in if you have something to add about it. All right. So, Abby, can you tell me about the day that this happened? Were you at home with your mom? Where were you?
I was the furthest from my mother possible on Earth. I was in Bali in Indonesia with
my God.
I was across the world on vacation with my boyfriend and his family. We went there right after New Year's, and it was supposed to be a 2-week trip. And so we were just chilling in the little house.
How do you chill in Indonesia? I don't even know.
I was hanging out with monkeys, walking on the beach. It was lovely.
Oh, wow.
Very fun.
Love monkeys. I wish I could have one as a pet.
They're very mischievous. He came on me and started dancing on my lap just so he could steal my snack.
Oh my gosh, they're smart. That's so cool. So then suddenly you got word.
I got a call from my dad. Well, he called me a couple times and I was like, oh, I'll call him back later. I was declining the calls. I was like, I'm hanging out.
See you later, Dad.
No, later, Dad, no problem. And then I saw he was calling me a lot, so I was a little concerned. So I called him back and I was like, what's going on? And he was like, you need to come home right now. It's not a friend's house. You have to come home right now. What do you expect me to do? He's like, no, this is very serious. Your mother's in the hospital. Mom, you had been to the hospital a couple times leading up to this. So I was like, oh, it's probably the headache thing. Just more of him. She's been fine. Is this really that serious? Because it's very typical at that point. He was like, no, this is a really big deal. You need to come home right now. Well, then you have to tell me what's going on. If you want me to come back across the world, give me a little bit more information.
Then a little more info.
Exactly. And he really refused to give me the information. He was like, no, it's just trust me. This is very serious and you're going to want to come home.
Oh my God.
So then I went to go talk to my boyfriend, Luca, and I was like, my dad's giving me this really cryptic info about my mom. I don't know what to do. He says, I need to go home, but I don't really want to go home alone. Would you come with me? And he was like, absolutely, of course. So
sidebar, Luca is really not a fan of flying.
Oh, really?
Terrified. I've never seen anybody as terrified.
I was trying to be a little more low-key about it.
Sorry, Luke.
It's no secret. But I think my dad called his dad. I think that's what happened. And he gave him more information. Right. And then his dad came to me and was like, no, this is quite serious. You need to go. So I was scrambling to find flights. It was a whole thing. And then Dad, I was like, you really need to give me a little more something because this just feels weird. He's like, well, you are going to want to come home if you want to say goodbye to your mother. That's
my God.
That's so dramatic.
That is. But he didn't want to, he didn't want to scare you at first.
But I think what happened was scaring me even more without the background of what was happening. So it was this fear without anything behind it, which is even more scary. So Luca and I got in a van and we went to the airport, which was a few hours away from where we were staying.
Wow.
And then that was the start of a 36-hour travel situation.
Jeez.
No information beyond my mom is dying or dead or I don't know because
God.
I couldn't call him. We were then driving. I have no data, no nothing, no phone. I also didn't have a phone that trip. That was the other thing. What? I lost my phone at the airport on the way from Montreal to Bali. I left it in the airport and I had my dad go pick it up for me. I was freaking out.
Oh,
so
my God. Of all time.
And it was just everything going wrong. So it was only on Lucas' phone, so I couldn't really call them. It was a whole thing. So we flew from Bali to Singapore to Paris and then Paris home.
Wow.
That was a crazy time. We were so exhausted and just like, I was freaking out the whole time. What's happening? And because I haven't slept in over a day and I don't know what's happening. And so it was just quite a disaster. When we were in Paris, we went to the wrong gate and fell asleep because it was just, that was our 25 or something.
Oh my gosh.
We missed the flight and I was losing it. I was absolutely freaking out, full panic attack in the middle of the airport. And Luca was such a freaking hero. He was so helpful the whole time and really had my back. We didn't have a credit card. And to change the flight, we needed cash or a credit card. So I was like, what do? We don't have enough cash. We didn't have enough euros. Like we weren't even in Paris at all. So we didn't have the right currency. We were freaking out. So he went to the Starbucks in the airport and offered to pay for people's coffee if they gave him cash in return. And he was the right amount of cash to get the flight home. And while he was doing that, in my delirious, freaking out, panic attack, I'm like, what do? I have to go to the gift shop. They need a mug for it. This is the only thing I can do.
I need a shower. I need something to bring her.
I have that mug at home. I think the blue one. The best thing I could think to do in that moment was a mug.
She needs a souvenir. That'll fix everything.
So then we finally got home, and we also, because it was so last minute, the flights and everything, we couldn't sit together. And he was like really free. He had a really tough time on the flights because with his phobia and everything, but that didn't stop him. He still came with me and really helped me out.
And you're freaking out because you don't know what the heck's going on.
Exactly.
So I just want to interject because I'm assuming because you talking that Luca's watching this. So Luca, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Love you.
you're a sweetheart, Luca. I don't even know you, but that's awesome what you did for her.
He's really the best. So we got home, and then I don't think I went to the hospital that night. I don't remember. It's kind of a blur. I think Jenny, my aunt, and then my Zadie came and picked me and Luca up from the airport. And we took Luca home. And I think I just went directly home because they were like, you need to sleep before you go and see whatever station that you're about to walk into. This is just not the vibe. So I went home, slept. And then the next day went to the hospital. And just honestly, that first week or so being home is almost erased from my brain. It was super traumatic. So spoiler alert, you did traumatize me, Mom.
You're right there with my niece, Emily.
But it was a lot. And then I have a little snippet of memory from that time. Remember my dad putting together a playlist, and he was like, you should add a song or a couple songs to the playlist because I saw that music is something that would really help people in or to, I don't know, connect with them, or maybe they can hear you.
Yeah,
so,
you talked about that when he was on. You
added some songs to the playlist. I remember that. And then I remember later, Mom, when you were out of the coma and you were in and out of it, a period of time that you don't remember, but you were talking a little bit. I remember you told me, because before the stroke, we would go to Pilates together sometimes at this one place that had a donut shop downstairs, which is no longer there anymore. So
they had great tea there too.
Really good. Oh my, he was in the Pilates place.
Right. I remember having the tea, but yes, the donuts are down the street, yes.
It was like apple cinnamon chamomile, something like that.
Yes.
You had it, you bought it, you found it since. Size box of it, like next time. But so she was like, she pulled me in and she was like, Abby, you have to keep going to Pilates. You have to take Luca with you. Yes. You were like, you need to go to Pilates. And I'm not gonna go to Pilates right now. What are you talking about? She's like, no, seriously, it's really important. This is really important to me that you go to Pilates with Luca. And since then, the Pilates place was closed, and I wasn't gonna be like, oh well, break your heart about it.
But here's a mug.
That'll make everything better. So I guess that was really the core memories, I guess.
Wow. It had to be so hard. You had to been running completely on adrenaline. And then when you finally got home, you must have been so exhausted. And then so your dad, I assume, prepared you before you went to the hospital at that point.
I think, again, that part's a little bit of a blur, but I think he explained to me before I walked in. Oh, no, it was Jenny. Jenny explained to me because she was the one that was picking us up and taking us places because Dad was at the hospital most of the time. So Jenny was really there. She prepared me. She was like,
Jenny is Jay's sister.
She was like just preparing me for what I was going to see. She was like, it's going to be hard to see. There's a lot of tubes. There's a lot of machines. Just giving me a mental image before I walked in and was like, what the hell? So there was a little bit of preparation, but nothing really can prepare you for that, I guess.
No, I can't even imagine. Wow. So she shared a little important message about Pilates with you. And then how often were you able to visit her? Like every few days, or because how long were you in the hospital, Brenda?
60 days.
Wow.
So I remember going there quite a bit, although it's hard because the days they all blend. It felt like so long and also very short. It's we think about that time. I guess any dramatic event, it's really hard to gauge timing and time and space and how that even works. And so I feel like I was there a lot, sitting there a lot. I don't know. I felt like other people were talking to you a lot, and I had trouble talking to you, even just out into the open in the air, just saying things because I didn't know if you could hear me or if that I didn't know what meant something and what didn't. And so I was really struggling to cope with how to be there. So I just sat there a lot in silence or on my phone or just being in the space was the only thing I really felt like I could do. But I don't know. And then COVID happened, and then that just
Oh my
changed
gosh.
completely. That was a whole other thing. So it was very
Wow. Do you have any advice to kids who are walking into something like that if their loved one was in that condition?
I think that from my experience to really, once I understood what was happening and once I got a clear explanation of what was going on, it helped me come down a little bit from the
Panic.
anxiety and just feeling a little more grounded in what the timeline or not that there is really
Yeah.
a time projected timeline, but to really understand what's happening and where this can go from here. Really seeking the information, even if somebody or a family member, whoever thinks that you're not prepared, if you feel like having information is going to help you feel more grounded and help you in any way, stand up for yourself and seek the information that you want to know. And then also, there's not really a right way to be, I guess. There's not a right way to cope. You don't like people have all kinds of methods and techniques like talking to the person or making a playlist, and that helps a lot of people. And for some other people, it's just something that you can't do or you're not comfortable doing, or maybe you don't know how to go about it. So just being there is enough. It was enough for me to just be in the space. There's no right way to go about it.
Right. Just being in her presence and just her knowing. I'm sure she knew in some way that you were there, whether you were talking or not. And that probably meant a ton, I can imagine, a ton to you.
Frankly, if it was a blur to you, you can imagine, because I have an entire month that I don't remember. And then the second month of there was very spotty. So,
You still remember
yes,
bits.
but I don't think that I need to remember specifics to remember that I felt loved and cared for. And that's really what it comes down to.
Exactly. So when you started to visit her when she was awake, and was she starting a little bit of rehab? And when you first heard her really have a conversation, I'm sure it was very different than the mom you've known all those years.
I didn't know because I had never known anybody that had a stroke or any kind of brain injury like that. So I didn't know how much it would affect someone's personality. And so that was my number one deep fear in my gut and my heart was like, even if her body doesn't necessarily work the same, will she be there in her personality, her soul, and her mind? That was the major fear. But then once she started talking, even the Pilates comment, Mom, she's so there was that moment, but it became more clear as she was coming back to and living in the rehab period that you were absolutely still you. Just
Thank goodness. Just a lot of differences, I'm sure, to get used to.
Yeah.
And when she got home, and I'm sure you all adapted pretty quickly, but I'm sure that it was definitely difficult for you. I could imagine. Because I know she did so much for everybody. So now you're like, oh, she needs to be taken care of. So how was that for you? And you were still in school, or no, you were done?
I was CJEP. I believe I was in my last year. I was 20. So I think I was in my last year of CJEP. And it was very different because she really did everything for us all the time. So Jacob started to drive me a lot. I remember that. Jacob became, because I don't have my license. I still don't have my license. Terrified to drive.
No judgment.
Impression to you.
Jacob started to drive me everywhere, to Luca's house, to everywhere. So thanks, Jakey.
I did do that from home
Really?
to Barat.
Oh my
It was
God.
a little ritual we had. I would take Abby almost, I don't know, not every day, but every other day.
Almost every day.
Really?
Yeah.
And how far of a drive is it?
Not far. It was 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a very
Okay.
No,
But
it was just down the
where we
mountain.
lived was odd because there was no public transit where we were, but it was a very short drive and a very long walk because we were up windy hill. So the driving, it was very helpful. And then when COVID happened and mom came home.
But can I also just add there was just bizarre, probably re-traumatizing of you when Luca's friend's mom, right? Talk about that.
So actually,
And that was within months, right?
less. I think the anniversary of her passing was yesterday or the day before.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Luca's best friend's mother passed from a stroke within a week or so. Maybe
Oh
one more.
gosh.
That must have been about a little over 2 weeks of my mom. So that was really, that shook me because I was like, oh my God, really not everybody can
Survives.
One survives. Not everybody makes it. And I feel so lucky, but I also feel so terrible for my
Right.
friend. And so that was a very, I guess, odd and unique experience.
That's a big blow. You're going through enough with your mom, and then you see somebody else. And if you're
Like,
anything like us, we have survivor's guilt. I'm
yeah,
sure you felt a little bit like, oh gosh, it happened to them.
Yeah.
Thank God my mom's here, but you still feel bad that that person didn't make it. I'm sure. I don't want to speak for you, but I can imagine.
that's exactly how I felt. That was tough.
Oh,
But yeah.
wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you want to talk about as far as helping your mom while she was home or your relationship? And
Well, our relationship's fabulous. I love my mom. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I could
She
talk
doesn't
about it for
always
ages.
like me, but she loves me.
That's
Right.
true.
yes, my nieces and nephews would say the same thing about me.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, I don't think
sweet.
there's anything else specific to add. There, like every day is, a different stories. Every day is different stories. Yeah, I could talk about it forever, but I think that's the gist of it.